course, Zach Richardson out of the stretch with the runner on first. Brings it to the plate and a swing and a miss. 2-1.
Looked like a little bit of an off-speed pitch there. This is my first time seeing Richardson pitch this year.
Runner at first, 1 out for the Lancers, no score. 2-1 pitch by Richardson, and that's popped up on the infield. And that will be caught by the Buckeyes' Dallas Snyder, the shortstop.
Yep. Knoxford there, communicating with each other, making sure that they were, making sure that everybody knew who had the ball.
Cleanup hitter to the plate for the Lancers, Lucas Crow. 2 out, and a runner at first. Richardson will throw over to first, high throw, and it's off the glove of Trevor Boggs, and the runner, Carson Jarvis, will head on down to second base. So the Lancers get a man in scoring position with 2 out here in the top of the first, no score. Richardson's pitch to Crow. Throw on down to second, and that goes to center field. Runner will head on over to third, Carson Jarvis. So the Lancers a man on third, 2 down.
Yeah, these are just kind of simple mistakes, silly mistakes, honestly, that could lead to a run here for the Lancers. You got 2 outs. You just need to focus on the hitter.
1-0 count on Lucas Crow. The pitch by Richardson, and that is outside. 2-0. Pitch, and a ground ball up the first base line. Richardson underhands to Boggs, and that'll be the final out of the inning for Federal Hocking. No score as we head to the bottom of the first.
Good job there by Richardson, just getting off the mound quickly. Then once he got to the ball, taking his time, making good toss to first base. Solid, very solid start to the inning. To the game, I should say, for the Buckeyes.
Of course, our sponsors, Rocky Outdoor Gear Store, Hocking Valley Motors, Air Claws Heating and Cooling, and Athens Sports Cycles.
Crank it up with the Pure Rock Radio Network, your home for classic rock that really rocks. Tune in to Pure Rock 105 and Pure Rock 99.5 for the greatest hits, local sports action, and your favorite morning crew, Porter's Place, featuring Rodney Porterhouse Tomlin, comedian Jay Snide, and the HR chick, Tanya Hatton. From Bobcats football and basketball to unbeatable giveaways, we've got your back. Pure Rock Radio Network, where local voices meet legendary rock. Pure Rock 105 and Pure Rock 99.5. Turn it up.
You are watching Nelsonville-York High School Sports live on Total Media Sports YouTube.
So the Buckeyes will be coming up here in the bottom of the first inning. It'll be Walker Stone, then Caleb Rexford, and then Logan Meek for Nelsonville-York. Buckeyes coming in at 3-9 overall, 1-6 in the Ohio division of the TVC. The Lancers 0-10 overall, 0-7 in the Hocking division of the Tri-Valley Conference. Buckeyes got a nice win over Alexander.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that in the pregame. We're a little short on time there, but we saw them lose to Alexander here at home the last time I was with you, Jim, and that was a pretty good game that the Buckeyes just fell short in coming back. But yeah, you told me that they were able to go down to Spartanland and get a victory. So that tells me that the Buckeyes are improving.
On the mound for Federal Hocking, Brody Rutter. Again, Walker Stone will lead off for Nelsonville-York. No score. Buckeyes bat in the home first.
I think the most important thing for the Buckeyes, really throughout the season, and this goes for any high school baseball team and literally any baseball team. You really have to limit your mistakes and just giving runs away. They almost gave a run away there in the top of the first, just throwing the ball around when they really didn't need to. Um, so, just limit those mistakes. Just make good decisions. Make the throws that you need to make when you need to make them.
First pitch is ball one. Rudder delivers the 1-0, and that's strike one. Walker Stone at the plate for the Buckeyes, 1-1 count. And that goes to the screen, 2-1. Brody Rudder with the wind and the pitch, and Walker Stone offered at it, trying to bunt it.
Looks like Roeder has a pretty good arm. He's shown a couple different pitches already with the first batter, Stone.
2-2 the count. The wind and the pitch, and that's fouled out of play over the backstop.
Yeah, Walker typically gets up there and he's swinging away before the first pitch is even thrown, but you can see he's maybe having a little difficult time seeing this pitcher.
And that's fouled off by Walker Stone. Count remains 2-2. Rudder with the 2-2 once again, and that's ball three.
It's a pretty good pitch there Walker took.
3-2 pitch by Rudder. And a little pop up towards third base, and it's going to hit the ground. And so Walker Stone will reach first base safely.
Ball almost was acting like it was knuckling off the bat. That third baseman was having some trouble just figuring it out, and I end up hitting off the heel of his glove and rolling out. But Stone always seems to find a way to get on base, and once he's on base, he's certainly a threat. One of the fastest players in the entire league.
Caleb Rexford at the plate for the Buckeyes. Throw over to first, and Walker Stone back safely. Brody Rudder out of the stretch, throws. Walker Stone on the move towards second, and he'll be in safely with a stolen base, and he'll hold it right there. Throw goes to the outfield, but not very far.
Had a little bit of an awkward slide there. I think maybe Stone thought he was going to get hit by the ball.
But, Walker Stone with an Athens Sports Cycle stolen base.
Yep. Pretty easy stolen base. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't try to take third as well at some point here.
And a shot by Caleb Rexford, and that's going to be down the line. It'll be at least a double for Caleb Rexford. Walker Stone jogging around third and heads home, and he scores. Rexford on his way to third, and he'll be in there. Nice hit by Caleb Rexford.
Yeah, really nice job of just driving the ball to right field. Hitting it, it was an outside pitch, and so he just took it to right field. Did a nice job out of the box, circling the bases, able to get that RBI.
Hocking Valley Motors long drive by Caleb Rexford. He's over at third, nobody out. The Buckeye lead is 1-0. Pitch is high to Logan Meek. Brody Rudder brings it to the plate, throw down the third, and Rexford is back. 2-0 is the count. Rudder with the pitch, and that's strike one, 2-1. As you said earlier, just an absolute beautiful day here in Southeast Ohio.
Certainly the best weather that at least you and I together are calling a game we've had so far. Last game wasn't too bad, a little windy, but I'll take this every game.
That pitch was high. It's 3-1. Logan Meek at the plate. Rudder with the pitch, and that's low ball 4. So Logan Meek heads on down to first. And Cameron Sullivan will hit, the Buckeye cleanup hitter. First and third, runners on the corner. Runner is off. Logan Meek towards second base, and he's safe. Caleb Rexford holds over at third. So the Buckeyes have him at second and third. Nobody out. Cameron Sullivan at the plate. 1-0 count.
Yeah, Scott, their catcher, just kind of double clutching a little bit there. He just needs to trust himself and let the ball go as soon as he comes up out of a squat.
That pitch was high. 2-0. Birdie Rudder with the 2-0 pitch. And that's low. 3-0. Dallas Snyder waiting on deck for the Buckeyes. 3-0 pitch. And that's strike one. So Birdie Rudder trying to battle back.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a situation where, coach is probably telling Cam, let's take one here. Get yourself in a good position here hitting-wise.
And that's high. Ball 4. It goes to the screen. Caleb Rexford will score for the Buckeyes. And Logan Meek heads on over to third. Cameron Sullivan runs on down to second after the walks. So the Buckeyes second and third. Nobody out. And Nelsonville-York with a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, it's a situation where the pitcher, Rudder, he threw the ball to the screen, kind of came back, put his head down, and Cameron took advantage of it. You got to give him credit. Cam kept his head up while the pitcher put his head down, and he took the extra base.
Birdie Rudder out of the wind, and that one's outside, ball 1.
And when you're a team that's struggling, those are the types of things that can happen, early on. If you have some problems with control or whatever may be the case, you're giving up some runs, it can be easy to kind of get down on yourself and, not be paying attention to the situation. That's exactly what happened there with Rudder.
1-1 pitch, and that's high, 2-1. Dallas Snyder showed bunt, but he pulled it back. Yeah, 2-1 pitch, and that one's popped out of play.
Coming to us. Ooh, somebody's car got it back there. Just can't park far enough away. I don't think around here.
2-2's the count. Buckeyes second and third. Nobody out. Pitch, and that is ball 3, full count. Buckeyes up 2-0 here in the bottom of the first, trying to get more. 3-2 pitch, and a ground ball towards second base. Second baseman makes the play, and that'll be an out. Buckeyes get another run as Logan Meek comes home, and Cameron Sullivan moves on over to third.
Good job there by Snyder. You definitely want to make sure, with they're not with less than 2 outs, you want to make sure that you're hitting the ball to the right-hand side if you can, because that almost ensures that you're going to get a run in with the infield playing back.
Zach Richardson at the plate, and he takes strike 1. The pitch, and that's low. 1-1. Birdie Rudder with the 1-1 pitch and a ground ball, and that's going to be by the second baseman. That'll get Cameron Sullivan home, and the Buckeye lead is now 4-0. Nice hit by Zach Richardson.
All of these Buckeyes are doing a pretty nice job of keeping their hands back, keeping their head, down on the ball level, and just driving it to right field, to the right-hand side. Except for Stone, the first batter. Since then, just about every hitter looks like he's been trying to drive it to the right side of the infield or outfield.
Strike one called on Stevie Blair. Zach Richardson over at first. One out in the bottom of the first. Buckeyes up 4-0. And Richardson running, and that one's fouled off down the first base side.
Should mention the Buckeyes are wearing some special jerseys here today. And I believe it's for suicide prevention awareness.
Have a little blue trim on their uniforms. I believe the softball team doing the same thing tonight, and it is Suicide Awareness Night.
Yep. And I was the softball team definitely is, because I was over there getting some water, stopped at the gas station and looked out there and I saw those jerseys and I was confused because I knew they were playing Federal Hocking, and I'm thinking to myself, well, Federal Hocking's not blue either. Who is that? So then when I got here and I saw the boys dressed in the same uniforms, it started making sense.
Stevie Blair at the plate, and that one's low. 1-2. Brody Rudder out of the stretch, brings it to the plate. Runner moving, Zach Richardson, and he's in with a stolen base. Good backup by the center fielder for Federal Hocking.
Better job there by Scott, Fed Hawks, the Lancers catcher, of getting rid of the ball quickly. Had a chance there if it had just been a little bit more accurate.
2-2 is high, so it's a full count. Runner at second, one out. Buckeyes up 4-0, bottom of the first inning. Stevie Blair at the plate, the pitch, and strike three is called.
Yeah. Stevie was trying to squat down there and coax a ball call out of the umpire, but that was a good pitch.
So the Buckeyes now with two outs, runner at second. And up to the plate is Trevor Boggs. And that's ball one. Rudder with the pitch and a swing and a miss, 1-1. One pitch, 2-1. And a swing and a miss. Count evens at 2-2 on Trevor Boggs. Buckeyes two outs, a runner at second. Brody Rudder with the 2-2, and that's high, ball three.
Yep. Just a little bit outside.
So ball four for Trevor Boggs. He'll get a walk and head on down to first. The ninth hitter for the Buckeyes here in the bottom of the first coming up, Levi Snedden.
It's one of those pitches that are awfully close. I'm surprised Boggs let that one go by, but he's able to coax the walk.
And strike one called on the delivery from Brody Rudder. The pitch, and that's low. Throw down to third. Ball gets away. And the Buckeyes will score their fifth run of the bottom of the first. Trevor Boggs heads on down to second.
Yeah, you'll see that quite often in high school baseball with two outs and a runner on second. They'll go ahead and take the chance of still on third base and getting that third out on third base, because there's also the potential that the catcher could throw it away just like that. And so the Buckeyes are able to tack on another run.
2-1 is the count on Levi Snedden. Brody Rudder with a pitch and almost hit him, and that goes to the screen. It'll be a 3-1 count, and Trevor Boggs heads on over to third for the Buckeyes. Walker Stone waiting on deck for Nelsonville-York. 3-1 pitch, and that's strike 2.
Yeah, Brody's a better pitcher than what we're seeing here out of him here in this first inning. He's just missed a couple close calls, and there's a third strike. Missed a couple close calls as well as just some fielding issues there that made it a little bit more difficult of an inning than perhaps it should have been.
So we've played 1 inning here at Nelsonville-York with the Buckeyes leading the Lancers 5-0, and we'll take a 30-second timeout.
Crank it up with the Pure Rock Radio Network, your home for classic rock that really rocks. Tune in to Pure Rock 105 and Pure Rock 99.5 for the greatest hits, local sports action, and your favorite morning crew, Porter's Place, featuring Rodney Porterhouse Tomlin, comedian Jay Snide, and the HR chick, Tanya Hatton. From Bobcats football and basketball to unbeatable giveaways, we've got your back. Pure Rock Radio Network, where local voices meet legendary rock. Pure Rock 105 and Pure Rock 99.5. Turn it up.
You are watching Nelsonville-York High School Sports live on Total Media Sports YouTube.
Heading to the top of the second, Federal Hocking will have Will Morgan, Jordan Mathena, and Elijah Scott hitting here in the top of the second.
Good work by the Buckeyes there in the first inning, taking advantage of the opportunities that the Lancers presented. You had some walks there involved, I believe a couple errors, or at least throwing errors, and the Buckeyes did a nice job putting the bat on the ball, especially those couple hits that were stroked to right field. That's exactly what you need to do in games like this, take care of business.
Again, Will Morgan will lead it off for the Lancers here in the top of the second. Zach Richardson back to the mound for the Buckeyes, the wind and the pitch. And that's strike 1.
And Richardson's doing an excellent job, too, of taking care of business, coming out here and, throwing first pitch strikes.
The wind and the pitch. And a ground ball down the first base line, but that's foul. So Richardson quickly ahead of Will Morgan, 0-2. Richardson off-speed pitch, and it's ball 1.
Yeah, it's a good pitch at that situation. 0-2, just again trying to get the batter to fish. Show him something different.
1-2 pitch, and that's popped up towards right field. Levi Snedden over, and he makes the catch for the Buckeyes. 1 down.
Good job with the sun right in his eyes. Took his time, figured out, took a peek at the fence where he was in relation to the fence, found the ball again in the air. It's a high sky, which means, it's pretty bright. Sky almost looks like it's bright white blue, and it's sometimes difficult to pick out a ball in that situation, so it's a nice play.
Jordan Mathena fouls it back, strike 1. Zach Richardson with the 0-1 and a swing and a miss. Oh, 2 pitch, And that's strike 3. Good pitch by Zach Richardson.
Yeah, just doing an excellent job here so far in the first 2 innings. Putting the ball over the plate. You know, if they hit it, they hit it. That's okay. Let your fielders take care of business too. And so just keep putting the ball over the plate. Really nice job here by Richardson.
Swing and a miss by Elijah Scott.
Started this batter off with an off-speed pitch.
Oh, 1 pitch. And strike 2 swinging. Nobody on, 2 out for the Lancers here in the top of the second. 0-2 count on Elijah Scott. Richardson with the pitch and a ground ball towards first. And Trevor Boggs makes the play for the Buckeyes, steps on the bag, and that'll do it for the Lancers' second inning. We'll head to the home half of the second inning. The Buckeyes leading 5-0, and we'll take a 30-second timeout.
Did you know Jackson is home to a locally owned and operated full-service print shop? Zip Printing covers all your print, signage, and design needs. From business cards, booklets, and posters to yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, oversized signage, and more. We can help you or your business advertise and look good doing it. Zip Printing also offers logo design. Allow us to assist you in building or elevating your brand today. Zip Printing is located in the Stockmeister Plaza at 708 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio. So stop in or give us a call at 740-286-3023.
You are watching Nelsonville-York High School Sports live on Total Media Sports YouTube.
That was a good job there, Jim. That to end that inning, Boggs, staying down on the ball. There's been some issues in a couple games where that transition's happening between the grass to the dirt, getting some poor bounces, or tricky bounces at least, and Boggs did a nice job staying down on the ball and fielding it cleanly.
Head coach for the Buckeyes, Josh Stalder. He's assisted by Chad Emmon and Max Brooks. Head coach for the Lancers, Rocky Brunny. He's assisted by Ryan Grimm and Donnie Poston. Rocky Brunny, of course, he's the head coach of the Copperheads in Athens.
Is that right? I didn't know that.
He's also been TVC Coach of the Year 11 times in his career, and he has over 400 wins at the high school level. Buckeyes up 5-0 as we head to the bottom of the second, and we're back to the top of the order for Nelsonville-York. Walker Stone at the plate. Rudder with the pitch, and a nice hit by Walker Stone towards center field, and the center fielder makes a nice catch for the Lancers.
Yeah, that was a nice job by Lucas Crow, tracking that ball again. The way this field's positioned this time of the evening or late afternoon, the sun's kind of right there in the center field in right fielder's eyes, and it's difficult out there. Even if it's right at him, it's difficult sometimes to track that ball.
Strike 1 to Caleb Rexford. He had a triple first time up and knocked in a run.
Really nice base hit.
And that one is ball 1. It goes to the screen, 1-1. And another nice hit by Caleb Rexford. It falls in front of the right fielder. He'll look out there, but the right fielder gathers the ball up and fires it in. So Caleb Rexford with a 1-out base hit for the Buckeyes.
You can see that Rexford's seeing Rudder really well, seeing the ball coming out of his hand really well, and he's doing a great job of just being patient and taking that ball, driving that ball. I mean, he's hitting it hard to right field.
Logan Meek at the plate for the Buckeyes. He walked first time up, and that one hit him.
Yeah.
So the Buckeyes will have Meek at first, and Rexford will head on down to second. Cameron Sullivan will now hit for Nelsonville-York. Birdie Rudder with the pitch and a sharp hit toward shortstop. Nice play by the shortstop. Throws to third and gets the force out of Caleb Rexford on the fielder's choice.
Yeah, I'm sure Coach Brunning's going to tell his shortstop, hey, let's turn 2 on that one, because he could either toss it to the second baseman and throw it to first, or he may have been able to pitch it to take it himself to the bag and throw it to first. But there was definitely the potential for a double play on that play.
So Buckeyes now with 2 out, runners at first and second. Dallas Snyder at the plate. And a sharp hit towards center field, and it's going to clear the center fielder. 1 run will score. Cameron Sullivan on his way to the plate, and he will score. And the Buckeye lead is 7-0 as Dallas Snyder with a 2-run double.
Yeah, that goes right back to what I was just saying. That ball was hit pretty much right at the center fielder, over his head, and he just could not see it very well coming off the bat. And by the time he figured out that it was going to be past him, it was too late. He just couldn't get a good jump on it.
Zach Richardson at the plate for the Buckeyes. He had a base hit first time up and an RBI. Runner on his way to third, and he'll be in safely.
If I could have been fielded cleanly there, I believe he would have probably been thrown out. But, again, putting the pressure on the defense. Buckeyes are doing a nice job of keeping that pressure on the Lancers this game so far.
That one's popped up down the right field first base
Just
line,
foul.
and it falls foul.
Yeah, just foul, Jim. Good hustle by the first baseman there to try to make a play. Their first baseman's Will Morgan. Good hustle.
1-1 count on Zach Richardson. And that's a low. 2-1. The pitch by Rudder, and that one's fouled off. Getting the Buckeyes up 7-0 now. They've added 2 runs here in the bottom of the second. 2 outs, runner at third, 2-2 count. And Richardson fouls it off over the screen.
Rudder's going out of the full line right now, and Snyder at third base is playing with him a little bit, trying to distract him. And that's good. That's just good baseball. Good smarts there. Try to distract him.
And a ground ball heading towards first. The first baseman will take it and get the out. That's Will Morgan with the play. So we'll head on to the third inning with the Buckeyes owning a 7-0 lead, and we'll take a 30-second timeout.
Crank it up with the Pure Rock Radio Network, your home for classic rock that really rocks. Tune in to Pure Rock 105 and Pure Rock 99.5 for the greatest hits, local sports action, and your favorite morning crew, Porter's Place, featuring Rodney Porterhouse Tomlin, comedian Jay Snide, and the HR chick, Tanya Hatton. From Bobcats football and basketball to unbeatable giveaways, we've got your back. Pure Rock Radio Network, where local voices meet legendary rock. Pure Rock 105 and Pure Rock 99.5. Turn it up.
You are watching Nelsonville-York High School Sports live on Total Media Sports YouTube.
Federal Hocking coming to the plate. They'll have 8-9-1. Waylon Guest will lead it off. Then they'll have Trey Scott. Then back to the top of the order and Brody Rudder.
Better bottom of the second there for Brody Rudder, pitching-wise for the Lancers. Did a better job of making the Buckeyes swing the bat. Defense did a pretty decent job. The play in center field, again, that's a difficult play when that ball's hit straight over your head. It's when you're looking at a high sky and you're trying to look into the sun and you're trying to figure out exactly how deep is that ball. It can take a couple seconds to judge it correctly, and once you do, once he did, I should say, it was too late.
Waylon Guest at the plate for Federal Hocking. Zach Richardson with the wind and the pitch, and that's strike one.
Yeah, great job. Richardson just about every batter starting them out 0-1.
Again, when you're up 7-0, you want to throw strikes, and
Absolutely,
Richardson
Jim.
is doing it.
Yep, no reason to play around. Just throw it over there and let them get themselves out.
That was a foul ball. 0-2 is the count.
Yep, just keep putting that ball over the plate. You know, keep your defense alive in the game. Let them play some too.
Richardson with the wind and the 0-2 pitch, and that's popped up. Cam Sullivan coming over,
Ooh.
and it falls. Foul ball. Nice hustle by Sullivan.
Yeah, it was. Did a really good job getting rid of his mask immediately and tracking the ball just a little too far out of reach.
Good job by Waylon Guest fouling that one off, protecting the plate on the 0-2 count. Once again, the 0-2 by Zach Richardson. And a swing and a miss. He gets a strikeout.
Yep, got him with the old hook there. Threw him a curveball, and the batter was out in front of it. It's a really good pitch.
So Trey Scott will hit now for Federal Hocking. The wind and the pitch and a bunt, and that will be a foul ball. Trying to bunt it down the first base line, but went foul.
Just trying to find a way to get on base. It's smart baseball. It really is, because you know you're down 7-0. You need base runners more than anything.
And that one's fielded by Caleb Rexford. Fires to first, and they get the out. Nice play by Caleb Rexford.
Yeah, it was. That was one of those situations where the batter showed the bunt probably a little too soon, and that gave Rexford the opportunity to get down the line and be in position to field that, in a better position to field that. And really good job by Rexford fielding it cleanly and getting the good toss to first.
Rocky Outdoor Gear Store, big glove play by Caleb Rexford, third baseman for the Buckeyes, and there's a shot. And it will be caught. Brody Rudder with that shot for Federal Hocking, but it is caught by the Buckeyes, and we head to the bottom of the third. Nelsonville-York lead to 7-0.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about that when we get back from the break, but Logan Meek has been doing a really good job in left field this season.
Did you know Jackson is home to a locally owned and operated full-service print shop? Zip Printing covers all your print, signage, and design needs. From business cards, booklets, and posters to yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, oversized signage, and more. We can help you or your business advertise and look good doing it. Zip Printing also offers logo design. Allow us to assist you in building or elevating your brand today. Zip Printing is located in the Stockmeister Plaza at 708 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio. So stop in or give us a call at 740-286-3023.
You are watching Nelsonville-York High School Sports live on Total Media Sports YouTube.
Buckeyes will have Stevie Blair, Trevor Boggs, and Levi Snedden coming to the plate here in the bottom of the third. And of course, the Buckeyes hoping for more.
Yeah, what Logan's doing a nice job, especially on that last play, is when you see the ball come off the bat and you can tell that it's going to the gap, you just immediately start running as hard as you can. And then you can adjust as you go, slow your speed down, but you want to get going as fast as you can because, excuse me, that's the type of play where, you can often see that ball hit the gap and go to the fence. But Logan had a really good jump on it and was full speed from the get-go and adjusted as he approached the ball and tracked it really well.
Brody Rudder back to the mound for Federal Hocking. Stevie Blair will head to the plate to lead off the Buckeye third inning. The wind and the pitch by Brody Rudder, and that's high, ball one to Stevie Blair. The 1-0, and that's ball 2.
Rudder was able to get out Stevie last time he was up with a really good fastball on the inside.
And a throw over to first, and 1 down for the Buckeyes.
One thing I really like about Brody Rudder is when he throws the ball, and you just saw it right there, he's kind of in perfect fielding position. His shoulders are square to the plate, and he's ready to play defense as soon as that ball's released.
Trevor Boggs at the plate for the Buckeyes. Ground ball towards third. Throw over to first, and that'll be out number 2.
Back-to-back solid plays by the defense.
Levi Snedden will now hit for Nelsonville-York with 2 out, nobody on. Fetter Hocking hoping for a quick inning here.
Yep.
And that's strike 1.
Levi.
0-1 pitch, and that's ball 1, 1-1. And a ground ball up the middle, and that's a base hit for Levi Snedden. So the Buckeyes with 2 outs. Now they have a runner aboard at first.
Good piece hitting there by Snedden, just taking the ball right back up the box.
And the leadoff hitter for the Buckeyes will come to the plate, Walker Stone, with 2 out and a runner at first. Buckeyes up 7-0 here in the bottom of the 3rd.
First baseman's not holding the runner on, so. Yep. Coach is trying to get him his attention here. Yeah, I think there was just some communication issues between the dugout and the first baseman there.
Birdie Rudder with the pitch and a swing and a miss. And now they will say it was a foul ball, so the runner Levi Snedden will head back to first. He was running to second.
I didn't hear any kind of tink or anything off that bat. Typically, with a aluminum bat or a metal bat, you're going to hear even if it barely touches it. But I really didn't hear anything there. But of course, the umpire called it a foul.
Throw over to first, and Snedden back safely.
And of course, we have these headsets on, so it's a little difficult for us to hear some things.
Walker Stone trying to bunt, and that will be a foul ball. 0-2 count. Two outs, runner at first for the Buckeyes here in the bottom of the 3rd. Buckeyes up 7-0. Rudder with the pitch, and that's low. Ball 1.
Well, Snedden got really far off the base right there. Catcher, surprised the catcher didn't make a throw to first.
Pitch, and a ground ball towards third. Third baseman fields, and Stone's going to be safe at first with that speed.
Yeah, most batters, they're out on that play, but not Walker Stone. He's got way too much speed.
And Caleb Rexford comes to the plate for the Buckeyes. He's had a triple and a single. Hit the ball hard both times towards right field.
Yep.
First and second for the Buckeyes, 2 out, and that's high, ball 1. Shave and a haircut.
Yeah, Rexford's feeling it. He's kind of getting, he's getting out over that plate a little bit, and I'm sure that wasn't on purpose, that throw, but nonetheless, it's going to maybe back him off that plate a little bit.
Ball 2. So the Lancers got the first 2 batters out in this bottom of the 3rd, but back-to-back base hits by Levi Snedden and Walker Stone. Rexford with the hit to the gap, and that's going to fall. It'll head to the fence. 1 run will score for the Buckeyes. And the second run will score. And the Buckeye lead is 9-0 as Caleb Rexford with another big hit, a double. He knocks in 2 more runs.
Yeah, a couple Hocking Valley Motors long drives now, and he has definitely seen the ball well today. And that's just how it happens sometimes. Some days you're feeling good and you're just seeing the ball well out of the pitcher's hand, and that's definitely the case for Rexford today, having a great game.
Logan Meek to the plate. A swing and a miss, 0-1 count. Logan Meek walked the first time up, and then he got hit by a pitch the second time up. And that's a strike. 0-2 count.
Come on, Logan.
And that's a ball, and it goes to the screen, so Caleb Rexford will head on over to third. 1-2 count on Logan Meek. Pitch by Rudder. And that a strike 3 call. So we head to the 4th inning. The Buckeye lead is 9-0 over Federal Hocking. We'll take a 30-second timeout.
Crank it up with the Pure Rock Radio Network, your home for classic rock that really rocks. Tune in to Pure Rock 105 and Pure Rock 99.5 for the greatest hits, local sports action, and your favorite morning crew, Porter's Place, featuring Rodney Porterhouse Tomlin, comedian Jay Snide, and the HR chick, Tanya Hatton. From Bobcats football and basketball to unbeatable giveaways, we've got your back. Pure Rock Radio Network, where local voices meet legendary rock. Pure Rock 105 and Pure Rock 99.5. Turn it up.
You are watching Nelsonville-York High School Sports live on Total Media Sports YouTube.
So the Buckeyes scored 5 times in the first inning, twice in the second, and twice in the third. Buckeyes with a 9-0 lead over Federal Hocking as we head to the 4th inning.
Yeah, Buckeyes doing a really nice job of just keeping the pressure on, continuing to put the ball in play. Even that last inning when, Rudder was able to get the first 2 batters out, the Buckeyes just continue to play ball. Go back to that Walker Stone hit where, again, he just uses his speed to continue to keep the inning going, and that leads to the big double there by Rexford and a couple more runs.
Carson Jarvis at the plate for Federal Hocking, the lead off the Lancer 4th. Zach Richardson still on the mound for the Buckeyes. The wind and the pitch. And a ground ball down the third baseline. That's a fair ball. Carson Jarvis turns first, looking, and Logan Meek gets it in quickly. So Jarvis puts on the brakes and heads back to first.
Yeah. That was a really good hit there. If Jarvis kind of rounds the base a little bit better on first, he has potential to go for 2, but it's really not worth it even trying it there because you're down by 9 runs. That leader runner really doesn't mean a whole lot unless several other hitters are able to get on base here.
Ball 1. Dylan Scott at the plate for Federal Hocking.
So you definitely don't want to get the first out, trying to extend a single into a double.
Dylan Scott popped out to shortstop first time up. The pitch, and that's high. Ball 2. Throw down the first, runner back in time. Zach Richardson out of the stretch, and he'll throw over to first, runner back.
Richardson's had a really nice game pitching-wise. If there's anything that you could probably point at, needs a little work, is just being able to deliver that ball to first base with the runner on.
Swing and a miss by Dylan Scott, 2-1 count. Pitch, and that's high. Ball 3, 3-1. 3-1 pitch and a swing and a miss. Full count.
Interesting to see here if the runner goes with a 3-2 count. Less than 2 outs.
3-2 pitch and a swing and a miss. And Zach Richardson battles back to get the strikeout.
And the runner obviously did not go, and good decision, because that could have potentially been a strike him out, throw him out, had he tried to steal second.
Lucas Crow now at the plate. Cleanup hitter for Federer Hocking, and that's ball 1. 1 down, runner at first for the Lancers. Buckeyes up 9-0 here in the top of the 4th. And a foul ball down the first base side. Again, Carson Jarvis on first base for Federer Hocking. 1 out. Pitch to Lucas Crow, and that's outside. 2-1.
Does look like Richardson's laboring a little bit more this inning. Maybe a little less zip on his fastball. A little more trouble with his location.
And a ground ball.
Oh.
And the runner will be safe, so they'll have him at first and second, 1 out.
Just kind of in no man's land there. I think perhaps the best way to have handled that would have been for the first baseman to charge the ball and then either flip it to the pitcher or maybe a second baseman coming over. But it's kind of a tricky little situation, and speed of the ball wasn't really all that fast.
Lucas Crow at first, Carson Jarvis at second for Federer Hocking. 1 out. Will Morgan at the plate. And that's popped out up to this side, and that will be out of play. Will Morgan flied out to right field the first time up. That foul ball out of play.
Yeah. There's definitely got an opportunity here to put some runs on the board.
Pitch by Richardson, and that is strike 2 called. So Richardson quickly ahead of Will Morgan, 0-2. Lancers with runners at first and second, 1 out here in the top of the 4th. Richardson with the pitch and a ground ball. And that'll be a base hit to right field. Runner coming to the plate, Levi Snedden with the throw. Cam Sullivan applies the tag, and the runner gunned down at the plate. Carson Jarvis trying to score on that base hit, but nice throw by Levi Snedden to Cameron Sullivan.
Really good ball by Snedden there. Took a little, probably even a little higher hop. It was a good throw. It just happened to hit in a spot in the grass where it took a little higher hop than he probably wanted. But nonetheless, Cam was able to get the tag down quickly. The tag was a little high up on the chest, but it was, certainly before the runner was able to get to the plate.
So Federer Hocking with runners at the corners, 2 down. Buckeye lead remains 9-0. Jordan Mathena at the plate, a swing and a miss. Runner heads on down to second. Will Morgan.
The outfield play for the Buckeyes this game has been pretty much spotless.
0-1 pitch. And a swing and a miss. 0-2 is the count. Second and third for the Lancers, 2 down. Zach Richardson with the pitch. And that's a little bit high, 1-2. And that bounces up there. Cameron Sullivan back to third, and they may have got him, and they did.
Yep.
Cameron Sullivan picks off the runner at third, and that ends the top of the 4th for Federer Hocking. The Buckeye lead is 9-0 as we head to the home 4th, and we'll take a 30-second timeout.
Crank it up with the Pure Rock Radio Network, your home for classic rock that really rocks. Tune in to Pure Rock 105 and Pure Rock 99.5 for the greatest hits, local sports action, and your favorite morning crew, Porter's Place, featuring Rodney Porterhouse Tomlin, comedian Jay Snide, and the HR chick, Tanya Hatton. From Bobcats football and basketball to unbeatable giveaways, we've got your back. Pure Rock Radio Network, where local voices meet legendary rock. Pure Rock 105 and Pure Rock 99.5. Turn it up.
You are watching Nelsonville-York High School Sports live on Total Media Sports YouTube.
So the Buckeyes with Cameron Sullivan, Dallas Snyder, and Zach Richardson coming to the plate here in the bottom of the fourth.
That was an inning. You could kind of tell a little bit, Zach Richardson, he wasn't as good as the previous innings. Maybe, he's obviously probably being affected by the number of pitches at this point. But he did what he did there is he did an excellent job of still keeping the ball over the plate, letting his defense play, and the defense is stepping up and they're answering the call. That was a great throw from right field by Snedden. And you follow that up by again the runner at third broke because he thought maybe that ball was getting past Cam, and then when he tried to get back to the bag, he kind of slipped a little bit, and Cam threw a really nice ball to third base there to get the last out. That's a great job by the pitcher and the defense answering the call, and the Buckeyes are putting together an all-around, very solid effort here against the Lancers.
Zach Richardson, he's yet to walk a batter or hit a batter, no free passes.
And that is so huge in any level of baseball, and obviously in high school, that just do not give free runners. You see it all the time. Typically if you give a free runner, especially early in the inning, if you walk that first batter or second batter, it's I forget what the percentages are,
Seems
but
like
they're pretty
70%
high. Yeah, they're pretty high that they score, and so and what he's doing is it seems like every inning, the very first batter, it's first pitch strike, and that is just so important at all levels of baseball.
So Cameron Sullivan steps in. And a line drive, base hit in front of the left fielder, Cameron Sullivan. Leads off with a hit. He'll head on to second as that ball got away from the shortstop, the cutoff man.
That's the second time Cameron's taken an extra base by just keeping his head up, paying attention, being ready to continue to move forward, and just smart baseball.
Dallas Snyder at the plate. Pitches high, ball one. Snyder grounded out to second his first time up, which knocked in a run scored, and then he had a double last time up and 2 RBIs. That one's heading towards right field, and that is going to fall for Dallas Snyder. Sullivan rounding third, heading for home, and he will score. And Snyder will stop at second base with another double. He knocks in another run, and the Buckeye lead is 10-0 here in the bottom of the fourth.
Yeah, and I believe this is probably about the third or fourth time these batters are getting to see Rudder. And, obviously we're heading into the bottom of the fourth here. Rudder's losing a little bit on his fastball, and these hitters are starting to tee up a little bit on him.
Runner heading towards third, and he's in safely with a stolen base. Athens Sports Cycle stolen base. Dallas Snyder. Zach Richardson at the plate. The pitch by Rudder. 2-0. Wind in the pitch, and it's 3-0. Seems like Brody Rudder, he's thrown a few pitches in this game, and he might be laboring just a little bit.
He is.
3-0 pitch, and a ground ball right back to Rudder. Nice play. The run will score from third, and then the throw pulls the first baseman off the bag. And now Zach Richardson heads on to third base as the throw gets away from second.
Boy, you hate to see that where, you know, a pitcher in this situation really makes a great play on a ball that struck, you know, hard right at him. Got down on a knee, did a nice job of blocking the ball, catching it, and just, you know, wasn't able to finish the play with the throw to first.
Ball one. Stevie Blair at the plate for the Buckeyes. 11-0 Nelsonville-York lead here in the bottom of the fourth. Birdie Rudder with the pitch. And it's 2-0. Zach Richardson out at third for the Buckeyes. Takes a lead. 2-0 pitch, and that's high, ball three. Throw down to third, and Richardson back. And that'll be a strike.
That's a pretty good fastball there.
3-1 is the count on Stevie Blair. Winding the pitch and a ground ball up the middle. Base hit for Stevie Blair and an RBI as Zach Richardson touches home plate. The Buckeye lead is 12-0.
Yeah, it's good to see Stevie there again. Just these Buckeye batters really from throughout most of the game here against what I think is really a pretty decent pitcher are doing just a really good job of keeping their head on the ball and not trying to do too much with it.
Swing and a miss by Trevor Boggs.
Just kind of driving it where it is. That ball was in the middle of the plate, and Stevie drove it right back up the middle.
Nobody out for the Buckeyes here in the bottom of the fourth. Runner at first. Pitch and a ground ball third base side. It's foul.
Kind of wonder how many more batters Coach Brunny's going to let Rudder
Throw
face
to
here.
first, and it gets away from the first baseman, and Stevie Blair will head on down to second.
The Lancers don't have a whole lot of depth, not much at all. And so, you know, I'm sure their number of pitchers are limited.
And a strikeout for Birdie Rudder. One down for the Buckeyes. Levi Snedden comes to the plate. Pitch, and it goes to the screen. Ball one, and Stevie Blair heads on over to third. Levi Snedden had a base hit last time for the Buckeyes.
Yeah,
1-0 count.
Another hit to right field, I believe it was, wasn't it, Jim? If I remember
believe
correctly.
so.
Yeah.
2-0. Birdie Rudder with the pitch and a swing and a miss. 2-1. Levi Snedden at the plate for the Buckeyes. 2-1 pitch, and it's 2-2.
Brady Rudder still, you know, he's still bringing it here.
2-2 pitch, and that's strike three
Really
call.
good pitch. Yep.
So he gets back-to-back strikeouts. There's now two down for the Buckeyes. Runner at third, and we go back to the top of the order. Walker Stone heads to the plate. He had a base hit last time up. The wind and the pitch by Birdie Rudder, and that goes to the screen. Stevie Blair heading to the plate, and they don't get the tag on him off the pitcher's glove, and Stevie Blair scores. It's 13-0 Buckeyes.
If you're Stevie, you have to go in that situation. And if that ball is caught cleanly, he's going to be out. But Stevie put the pressure on the catcher and the pitcher to make the play, and they weren't able to.
1-0 count on Walker Stone. Nobody on now for the Buckeyes. 2 down here in the bottom of the fourth. 2-0 is now the count. Birdie Rudder with the wind and the pitch, and that's outside. 3-0 to Walker Stone. Caleb Rexford waiting on deck. He'd just need a home run to hit for the cycle, Rexford. And Walker Stone takes ball 4, and he'll head on down to first base. Caleb Rexford, first time up, had a triple and an RBI. Second time up, had a single. And then third time up, last time up, he had a double and 2 RBIs.
Looks like Coach Brunny's going to come on out and at least have a word with Brody Rudder on the mound.
Yeah, it looks like they will make a change.
Looks like they're bringing in a left-hander, Jim.
It looks like it'll be Lucas Crow. Will take the mound. So the Buckeyes with a 13-0 lead here in the bottom of the fourth. And of course, Federal Hocking will need to produce at least 4 runs in the top of the fifth to keep this game alive. Right. Their next at bat.
Yeah, run rule applies after the top of the fifth.
Might be a good time for Coach Brunny to make a change because, again, Caleb Rexford, he seems to have Birdie Rudder's number.
Yeah,
hit the ball hard all 3 times up.
Yep. Yeah, Rexford's having I would probably say, one of his best games of his career today. He's hitting the ball well, seeing the ball well. And, again, just sometimes you have those days, and sometimes you just see pitchers better than others, and it's just his day today. And I think he said he needs a home run for the cycle.
Yes.
I haven't caught every game that you've called, Jim, by yourself, but have the Buckeyes hit a home run this year?
I haven't seen one.
Okay.
The games we've done.
Yeah, of course we haven't done every game. We've just been doing home games, so perhaps they've hit one on the road.
Shout out to Emmy Fowler of the Buckeye softball team. Hit a big home run as the Buckeyes get the win. I believe it was over Meigs the other night.
Ladies are having a pretty impressive here last couple weeks, especially hitting the ball. They've had several home runs I've been reading about and hearing about. So, yes, congratulations to the ladies.
Buckeyes 2 outs. Runner at first and Walker Stone. And Caleb Rexford at the plate. First pitch and a swing and a miss. Again, Birdie Rudder, he did throw pretty hard, and of course you have to adjust with the new pitcher in. Lucas Crow with the pitch. And that goes back to the screen. Walker Stone went to second, and he'll hold right there.
It almost looked like it hit Rexford, but I bet if it did hit him, he probably wouldn't even tell the umpire because he's probably wanting to swing the bat here.
Lucas Crow, the pitch. Walker Stone goes to third, and good decision by the catcher just to throw it back because Walker Stone was almost there before the catcher had the ball.
They're never going to be able to throw him out with his speed, and the pitcher's just not coming to the plate real fast. So,
and a strike call. Looked like that could have been up a little bit.
This is likely a situation where Coach Brunny's just bringing a player in to try to finish out this game, and they're going to have probably a game on Friday, maybe even tomorrow. I don't know what Lancer's schedule is, but you don't want to use up what other pitchers you have, in a situation, a game where you're most likely not going to win it.
So hit batter as Caleb Rexford heads on down the first.
Wonder what they would call a cycle where you also get a hit by pitcher. A super a super cycle? I don't know. I'm sure it's happened in the history of baseball, but I've never seen it myself.
Strike one call on Logan Meek. Caleb Rexford takes second base. 2 outs, second and third for the Buckeyes. Nelsonville-York leading 13-0 here in the bottom of the fourth. The pitch, and that's outside, 1-1.
Yeah, if you're the pitcher here, Lucas Crow, you're just trying to get the ball over the plate and get out of the inning.
That bounces up there. Catcher knocks it down. 2-1. Three one. That one a little bit high. Lucas Crow, the lefty, delivers the 3-1, and that's fouled off by Logan Meek. Count is full.
For the hitters, it's really tough just to stay back, stay back, stay back. And it feels like that ball's in the air forever. And it's certainly a big adjustment when you were facing Rudder earlier in the game, just the speed of the ball.
And a shot up the middle, and that's a base hit for Logan Meek. Walker Stone will score. Caleb Rexford heading for home. He will score, and the Buckeye lead is 15-0. Logan Meek with a 2 RBI single.
Yeah, you can get the sense the pitch before that Logan had figured out the timing of it. You kind of got a feel for it. And so did a nice job there with that hit, just staying back, wait.
Cameron Sullivan will now bat. He had a base hit last time up. And that's popped up towards right field. The right fielder, I don't believe he can find it. And the second baseman, it will drop. Second baseman going back on it, but unable to pull it in.
Right fielder knew he had no chance of getting to that ball. So, again, they're looking at the sun. Even the second baseman right now, that sun's starting to get down where it's affecting the second baseman as well. And he just wasn't able to react quickly enough.
Dallas Snyder to plate for the Buckeyes. He's had a couple doubles and 3 RBIs in the game. They're actually 4 RBIs.
And Coach Brunny saw what you saw, though, Jim, that the right fielder really didn't even move. And so he's substituting a player in right field right now.
Gavin Lance jogs in for Fatter Hocking out to right field. He wears number 20. And that's a ball. Cameron Sullivan heads on down to second.
It's a tough lesson for kids that you need to understand that you hustle at all times on the field. Doesn't matter what the score is. You have to have that attitude that you're going to hustle, that you're going to be involved however you can in every play.
2-0. Crow with the pitch. And strike is called.
Maybe coaches or there's something going on there between the coaches. I don't know if it's a spectator or umpire called time to try to calm folks down.
2-1 pitch. And it's 3-1. 2 outs. Buckeyes with second and third, leading 15-0 here in the bottom of the fourth. 3-1 and a hard shot, and it's going to go to the wall. Left fielder tried to make the catch, and Snyder will hold up his third triple of the game and yet another RBI. 16-0 Buckeyes.
Coach Stolder just held the cam there, Sullivan at third base. He could have easily scored, but just trying to, be sportsmanlike.
Richardson, little popper towards third, and it falls between the pitcher and the third baseman, and that'll be a base hit for Zach Richardson.
And now it's a situation where bases loaded, the runners have to advance. They have no other choice. And you have to continue to play baseball the way it's supposed to be played.
Stevie Blair at the plate for the Buckeyes. And there's a shot towards right field, and that'll be down for a hit. 1 run will score. And it's 17-0 for the Buckeyes. Trevor Boggs at the plate for Nelsonville-York.
Yeah, Lancers are just trying to figure out any way to get this last out.
Ball 1.
And for Coach Stalder and the Buckeyes coaching staff, it's one of those situations. Again, you want to be sportsmanlike. You don't want to, be accused of trying to run up the score or anything along those lines. Every coach has been in the situation that Coach Brunny's in. If you've coached for any time at all, you've been in that situation where you're the one that's down 17 runs, and you know how it feels.
Crow with a 2-0, and that is low, ball 3. No place to put him. Trevor Boggs at the plate, bases loaded. .30 pitch, and that's high, and Trevor Boggs will get a RBI walk.
Oh, Levi.
Head coach Rocky Brunny heading towards the mound, gets timeout. Buckeyes up 18-0 here in the bottom of the fourth. And it looks like Will Morgan will take over on the mound for Federal Hocking. Lucas Crow will play first base.
Back-to-back lefties, another left-handed pitcher here for the Lancers. I talked about, I think the last game we called, Jim, that there are some teams don't have any left-handers, and here on a small team, back-to-back left-hand pitchers coming out in relief.
Buckeyes have had 9 runs coming into this bottom of the fourth, and they've doubled that now. They have 18 runs.
Yeah. Ryder just kind of, he just lost steam there, and it was the right decision by Coach Brunny to take him out, and that's at that particular time. They'd just not be able to get this last out. They've had a couple plays in the outfield where they potentially could have caught the ball. Also, a ball there to short right field where the second baseman probably should have made the play, but they've just not been able to execute and get this final out.
Levi Snedden will be the batter for the Buckeyes. 2 down, bases loaded.
And if you're Coach Stalder, it's not like you can tell the batters, hey, go up there and strike out or anything, because you don't want them to, get bad habits. And they're up there and they want to be successful too, and they don't want to hurt their average and all those things that go along with it.
Will Morgan with the pitch and a swing and a miss.
Now, but you can tell your hitters, be aggressive. If it's close, swing at it. Be aggressive.
Morgan with the pitch and a swing and a miss, 0-2 count.
And that's exactly what Levi's doing right here. He's just being an aggressive hitter. Trying to put the ball in play.
0-2 pitch and a shot by Levi Snedden, and that's going to fall for a hit. Another run will score for the Buckeyes, and it's 19-0.
So that's a couple times Levi's done a nice job driving the ball to right field this game.
Back to the top of the order for Nelsonville-York. Walker Stone steps in. Swing and a miss.
Walker is way in front of that ball.
Will Morgan throws to first. They've got Levi Snedden hung down in a rundown, and he is thrown out at second base. Buckeye lead is 19-0 as we head to the 5th inning.
Yep, we'll be right back, folks.
Crank it up with the Pure Rock Radio Network, your home for classic rock that really rocks. Tune in to Pure Rock 105 and Pure Rock 99.5 for the greatest hits, local sports action, and your favorite morning crew, Porter's Place, featuring Rodney Porterhouse Tomlin, comedian Jay Snide, and the HR chick, Tanya Hatton. From Bobcats football and basketball to unbeatable giveaways, we've got your back. Pure Rock Radio Network, where local voices meet legendary rock. Pure Rock 105 and Pure Rock 99.5. Turn it up.
You are watching Nelsonville-York High School Sports live on Total Media Sports YouTube.
So Federal Hocking's going to have to put up 10 runs here in the top of the 5th to keep this game going. Of course, there will be a 10-run rule at the end of 5.
Yeah, I know, Jim. You and I are Buckeyes through and through, and we want to see the Buckeyes do well, but you also want to see the other team be competitive. And so I'd be perfectly okay if the Lancers are able to put up a few runs here, at least a few runs here, and heading into the top of the 5th. Otherwise, it's going to be a run rule.
Zach Richardson still on the mound for the Buckeyes. He's pitched well and a swing and a miss. Gavin Lance at the plate. And that's a ball. 1-1. Pitch. And it's 2-1.
Definitely be nice to also see Zach Richardson, finish the complete game here, even in a run rule situation. Finish out the game that he started and has done a great job throwing-wise.
Base hit to right field. Nice hit by Gavin Lance of the Lancers to lead off the Federal Hocking 5th inning.
Yep. Lancers have made some good contact throughout this game because, again, Zach Richardson's putting the ball over the plate, letting him swing. Defense has just been up to the task.
Elijah Scott now at the plate for Federal Hocking, a swing and a miss. Pitch and a ground ball.
Oh.
Walker Stone knocked it down, and the throw to the pitcher got away. Lancers first and second, nobody out.
Again, Stone just showing off his speed there. I think it's the first time I've seen him at second base this year. And great range there, was able to get to the ball, just wasn't able to field it cleanly.
Waylon Guess at the plate for Federal Hocking. Richardson with the pitch, and that's high, ball one. Nobody out, first and second for the Lancers. Richardson with the pitch. And a ground ball towards Walker Stone at second. And that will be a, I'm not sure if you give him an error on that.
That's an error, yeah. And I'm sure Walker would tell you that's an error too. It's a play he should have made. He didn't get himself in front of the ball well enough, and I think he was thinking double play in his head, and he was rushing himself a little bit too much, and he got his body turned, and at the very least that should have been an out at first base, but it bounced off of his glove into the right field.
Bases loaded for Federal Hocking. Trey Scott at the plate. He grounded out to third his last time up, and a shot towards Caleb Rexford, and that took a high hop.
Oh my, that did.
Hopefully he's okay. And a run scores for the Lancers to make it 19-1. And again, hopefully Caleb Rexford's fine.
Yeah, I think it looked bad, but I don't know if it hit him flush. I hope not. I hope it was just a little glancing blow, and he's a tough kid. He'll be all right. But yeah, boy, I mean, I think back to the last game at third base, he had all kinds of tricky hops he had to deal with that last game I called with you, Jim, and that was certainly one of those difficult things. The infield's playing in that situation, so they're already pretty much on top of the plate, and once that ball comes off, you have very little reaction time. And he really didn't have time to charge it to be able to get it on that short hop, and it basically took a high hop out of the grass, and it looks like they're going to go ahead and take him out of the game just for safety purposes, just to be cautious. I think he's okay.
Jackson Woolham comes in wearing number 4. He'll play third base for the Buckeyes. Pitch is low, ball one. Still nobody out. Lancers with the bases loaded. Birdie Rudder at the plate. Richardson with the pitch, a swing and a miss. Wind in the pitch by Zach Richardson. And a ground ball towards short. Play will come home, and it goes by the catcher.
Coach Snyder will tell, Coach Stalder will tell Snyder there the plays at second. That run really doesn't mean that much. You're just wanting outs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good learning, situation there for the players when they go back and watch the tape. Maybe watch this replay this broadcast. I'll tell Snyder that play should have been made at second.
Ball one. Hitter now is Carson Jarvis. He's had 2 singles for Federal Hocking in this game. So it's 19-2. Lancers still with the bases loaded, nobody out. Richardson with the pitch. And a shot. And that will fall for a hit. Carson Jarvis. 2 more runs will score. So a 2 RBI double for Carson Jarvis.
Now, Jim, I said I'd be all right with the Lancers scoring a few runs. They've scored more than a few, so that's time to put a stop to it now.
So it's 19-4. The Lancers second and third, nobody out.
Coach Stalder really wants to see, Richardson finish out this game. He knows how well he's pitched up until this inning.
Swing and a miss by Dylan Scott. 0-1 pitch. And that's fouled back, 0-2.
And honestly, even in this inning, he's pitched okay. There's a couple errors by the Buckeyes, or a couple, poor decisions throwing-wise. And that's just kept the Lancers on the bases the whole inning.
Richardson with the 0-2. And that is strike 3 call. Nice pitch.
Yeah, you could tell something different was coming there because he reached back into his glove there to grab it. You could tell something was happening in it with his hand with the grip, and that was a pretty good curveball.
So 1 down, runners at second and third, and that'll be foul down the first base side. Lucas Crow at the plate. He had a single last time up.
Good thing that ball just nicked the top of the fence there. It could have been some trouble for the spectators.
0-1 pitch. And a ground ball to second. Walker Stone will go on the first for the out. So 2 down now for the Lancers.
Yep. All that matters right now are those outs.
So the Lancers maybe down to their last out here. Buckeyes up 19-5 here in the top of the 5th. Lancers runners. Runner at third. Again, 2 down. Will Morgan at the plate. And a swing and a miss. Will Morgan had a base hit last time, and gets away from third base, and the runner will score. Carson Jarvis comes home. Two down, nobody on base now for Federal Hocking. Will Morgan at the plate, 0-1 count. One. 19-6 is the Buckeye lead. Yeah. 2-1 is the count. And that's high, 3-1.
Zach's arm's definitely tired at this point, and I'm guessing if he gives one more base runner up here that Coach Stalter's going to make the change.
And that's low, ball 4. So Will Morgan will head down to first with a walk. Lancers coming into this top of the 5th needed 10 runs to keep this game alive, and they've put up 6. Still a little more work to do. They need 4 more runs. Morgan goes on to second. No throw.
Yep, runner doesn't really mean anything. You just need that last out.
Pitch. Cam Sullivan throws down to third, and the runner in safely, Will Morgan. Two down, runner at third for Federal Hocking. Gavin Lance at the plate. He started this inning off for Federal Hocking with a base hit. Strike called there.
Yep, Lancers down to their last out right here. I'm sorry, last strike, I should say.
1-2 pitch by Zach Richardson is a swing and a miss, and that'll do it. The Buckeyes defeat Federal Hocking in 5 innings, 19-6, and we'll take a 30-second timeout.
Crank it up with the Pure Rock Radio Network, your home for classic rock that really rocks. Tune in to Pure Rock 105 and Pure Rock 99.5 for the greatest hits, local sports action, and your favorite morning crew, Porter's Place, featuring Rodney Porterhouse Tomlin, comedian Jay Snide, and the HR chick, Tanya Hatton. From Bobcats football and basketball to unbeatable giveaways, we've got your back. Pure Rock Radio Network, where local voices meet legendary rock. Pure Rock 105 and Pure Rock 99.5. Turn it up.
You are watching Nelsonville-York High School Sports live on Total Media Sports YouTube.
The Buckeyes now 4-9 overall on the season. The Lancers dropped to 0-11. Buckeyes with a 19-6 win in 5 innings.
Yeah, the type of game that, again, the Buckeyes, we said before the game started, it's that type of game where you just got to go out and take care of business. You need to get that win, continue to work off some of the momentum that you built up over the weekend. And it was a pretty complete game for the Buckeyes. They gave up some runs there at the end in that last inning, but overall, the most complete game that they've played I've seen all season long. Just outside of that last inning, the defense really did a nice job of doing what they're supposed to do. Zach Richardson just threw a phenomenal game.
He goes the distance.
Yeah, and goes the distance. And, again, you give up some runs there at the end, but, ultimately those didn't mean a whole lot. And
he only had 1 walk in the game.
Yeah, and you are going to win way more games than you lose when you only have 1 walk in a high school baseball game. Way more wins than you're going to lose.
So Nelsonville-York defeats Federal Hocking 19-6 in 5 innings in this varsity baseball game. For Micah Morrison on camera and Will Shope on streaming, Jimmy McCormick, our technical engineer, Tad Steinbrink